hatred for people. But was he really that bad? Well, the question being, who hardened his heart? Who did that? Well, the popular answer is, well, God hardened his heart, right? Because the text does say that, I will harden his heart. I hardened Pharaoh's heart. So you're saying, now wait a minute, why would God decide to do this to those people then? Because Pharaoh could have just easily said, no, you know what, go ahead and go. But it says, wait, Pharaoh kept being hardened by God? Okay. Now, there's something people kind of miss sometimes. If you really study the text, plagues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it says Pharaoh hardened his own heart. Okay? Meaning he was that disgusting. He was that prideful. He was that in love with him and his own power that every time it happened, he thought he was still in control. 1 through 5. That means that affecting himself, his family, and all his people, he saw the blood, the frogs, the gnats everywhere, the flies and the livestock being killed. He saw all that. And still, he was okay with it. Now, by the 6th plague, it begins to say something else. God hardened Pharaoh's heart. There is a text in Romans chapter 1 that says God gave them over to this. See, here is how God and you really interact. Now, you can have the tidy Sunday school way, or I'll tell you what really happens. This is what happens. Sometimes in life, you're a sinner, okay? You just are. You're a sinner. And there's some sins you keep committing all of the time. You know they're wrong, but for you, it's okay. It's okay for me. God will look past that. I got so many other good things going on. Well, it says in Romans 1 that they had different lustful desires. They had a lust for greed and sex. They had all these different things. And God said, you know what? I'm going to give them over. Meaning, I'm done. You want that sin? There. That's who you are. You want to be a drunk? There. That's all you want. Take it. It reads the same way with Pharaoh and God. God gives him 5 chances. Every time he gives him 5 chances. And he doesn't do it. So finally, after that, God says, you know what? Fine. You want to be that guy? There. You're that guy. But just so you know, you're going to have the worst approval rating ever of a leader. Okay? Be that guy. So, that's what happened. Now, you're probably wondering something, though. No, wait a minute. We have a God of love, right? I mean, we have a God that says, do not judge. And a God that says, peace. Why would he do that? There's this strange concept, and I even hear it in the church, that we have 2 gods in the Bible, right? We have 39 books of the Old Testament, and they represent some guy who's just angry all the time. Then we have 27 books in the New Testament, and that God apparently had therapy at some point, and he's happy now. Christians believe this. I'm not joking. There may be some in here that think we have 2 gods. But that's not true a little bit, okay? Here's the thing. 99.9% of every story you're going to read in this book has 2 themes, and both things happen. There is grace and there is judgment every time. Run down your Rolodex of Bible stories right now. There's grace and there is judgment. Okay? Now, why would there be grace and why would there be judgment? Well, here's why. You, as a parent, you were, you are, you will be. You are going to parent, if nothing else, consistently if you're going to do a good job. Okay? Like, for instance, I see some parents sometimes. And they'll say, hey, Billy, take out the trash. And Billy will say, no, you do it. And the parent does it, by the way. They say, okay, I'll do it. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. Didn't want to stop your creativity. I'll go ahead and take out the trash for you. But then you have other parents who they say, Billy, take out the trash. No! Billy, do it. Why? And you say something that they hate. But it's the truth. Because I said so. He takes out the trash, doesn't he? Sometimes we see God punish. God sets forth all these teachings of how you should live. If you live this way, you're going to be fine, right? If you do that, we call them commandments, but really, they are commandments, but they're whole advice to live by too. He sets forth all those. He says, do those, do those, do those. And if you don't, there is a punishment in the end. Now, as a parent, you don't want to punish ever. You don't. You don't wake up in the morning, man, I hope I get to beat my kid today. No, by the way, I'm not saying you should beat your kids, okay? Please don't quote me that way. But you don't wake up hoping that. If your child knows that there are consequences, I may have to go to timeout if I do this. And all those consequences aren't just for that situation, they're for later on in life, because you don't want your kid acting that way when he gets out the house. You don't want that. You don't want that. That's God. God is consistent. Some of you have this strange idea that Judgment Day will be Jesus on trial with you asking the question. Saying, well, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why don't you try that approach and see what happens? That's not Judgment Day. God says, well, I laid this out for you. How did you do? What did you learn from that? You're the one being judged on Judgment Day. It ain't him. It's not him at all. The Bible is, if anything, it's consistent. It's the same God all the time. I can give you a dozen stories of judgment in the New Testament. Okay? It's the same God. And it's a God of grace and love, and it's a God of judgment. He's both. Now you may say, well, I thought he was a just God. Right? I mean, he lets us go to heaven. Let me ask you something. If you think he's a just God, think of what you did last week, and then understand that he wants you to live in his house forever. Is he a just God still? God is a God of grace and judgment. That's who he is. He's one God. Okay. Now, we're going to have our invitation now. And this is our Passover. We're free. Now, the lamb that was slain was Jesus, but either way, we're free. The question is, are you free? Are you free from sin today? So, as we stand in worship, if you have a decision to make, I'll be right down.